Hi. This is Talk K-Dramas with Bruce and Alex.
Hey.
And we're on camera for episode 25, the last episode.
Indeed.
Of Boys Over Flowers.
Oh, it is over. And yet, like, it's over too, like, for real.
I was looking at our Instagram, and we started, there was a date on there when I posted, March. Yeah. We started this in March. It's September, like the mid-September.
Yeah. I feel you.
It took a long time.
It did. It did take a long time.
So we spent a lot of time trying to figure out light. Oh my God, we almost gave up because lighting and all this, I mean, it's hard. So I'm wondering, after we spent a day and a half trying to figure out where we were going to sit.
Actually, probably more like 3 days if you think about it, because we had another day where we did all of this stuff.
And it's still not perfect.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll get better at this. However, I'm wondering, since we spent all this time with figuring out the camera, did you do your 3 sentences?
Yes, I did.
Woo!
I got to memorize because I didn't want to look down at like any notes or anything right now.
Okay, give us your 3.
All right, here we go. So sentence number 1 is the hospital couple now an actual couple? That's sentence number 1. Sentence number 2, John D tries one last ditch effort to get Junpyo to remember. And then sentence number 3, is Junpyo great enough for John D to marry him? Those are my 3 sentences.
Yes, because there was a proposal. We had proposal in the last 2 episodes.
I know, right?
Okay.
How many times you need to propose? Just saying.
Well, if you're just gonna dump a necklace on their hand, a couple. Okay. The episode starts off with John D bringing Junpyo lunch.
Yes.
And it looked good.
It did look good. I mean, remember, it's like it was right before he left. I think he left to Macau. They were supposed to have this lunch date and everything, and she did all of that stuff, and so it looked like almost the exact same lunchbox. I'm like, damn, girl, you had that lunchbox the whole time, but I of course she did, but it looked like exactly the same.
It was the same. That's what she does.
That is what she
does.
That's
what she does. So it was cute because he was asleep, and she's going abracadabra, like she's trying to make him remember her.
Yeah.
And
yeah, that's what we. Yeah, that's they put that in the translation for us, but that is clearly not what she was saying. You know, like it was not abracadabra. It was really. It's really interesting to me.
I wonder if it's a Korean version.
Yeah,
abracadabra.
Yeah, because what I know is that like different cultures have different cultural sounds for things that we completely like take for granted. For us in the United States, when we do a dog barking, we'll like it's either be like bark or wolf, like woof woof, right?
Oh yeah.
While in other countries, it's like want. Like I think it's Japan that they do want, and I'm like, huh? Yeah. And so and then like roosters is like we say cockadoodle doo, which is complete nonsense. It doesn't make any sense, but I think it's Mexican culture is like kikiri kitty or something like that. And so. So anyway, I'm just saying all of that to say abracadabra is definitely different in Korea.
Yeah, well.
Than it is in the United States, because she didn't say abracadabra.
He doesn't wake up.
He does not wake up.
So he doesn't see her drop off the lunch. So hospital girl takes credit for it.
Yeah, she does.
Oh, how low?
Miss Hospital Playlist.
How low do you have to be to take credit? For something you didn't do.
Hey, if you try to take a chance at a billionaire,
I guess so. You know what?
I think all bets are off. It's like I think 99% of women out there. I hate to say it quite like that. 99%.
No.
Oh yeah. They take their shot.
You wouldn't do that, would you? I don't.
Somebody better hit me up in the chat. Somebody hit us up in the chat. Y'all see the website up here. If you haven't visited our website, it's amazing. Alice built it herself.
Here.
Yes, here and here.
Don't brag.
Alice built it herself. It is
really
amazing.
Hard.
It was amazing.
If you haven't listened to our other podcasts, you'll know when we started, I didn't even do social media. So this was a huge deal for me. I spent a lot of nights crying
Yeah.
because I couldn't figure it out. You even like would try to help me, and it was hard. It was really hard.
Yeah, but shout out to WordPress and that class that you took at Maricosta.
I took a class that's what helped me,
and it really helped out. So anyway, but I was just saying that to say, contact us, let us know what you think about what were we talking about. Oh, would you started getting all enamored with your website? But no, we was talking about it's like who would it?
And you know what?
Please, I think there's people who admit to. I don't know of any of our audience members. I think our audience members are very
you know what I think,
and very ethical.
I think it's one of those things that you're put on the spot. Like you don't think you're gonna do it. You're like, no, but then when you're sitting there, you're like, I just have to smile. Like I don't even have to say nothing. I could just be like, isn't that what she kind of did? She just kind of went like,
yeah, just taking all the credit for absolutely nothing. Yeah, that was bad. That was really bad. That was really bad. That was really bad.
I'm gonna miss the porridge shop. I want some of that so bad. I'm gonna have to make some abalone porridge.
Yeah, I'm not feeling that. I'm not feeling the abalone thing.
Oh,
pumpkin, maybe something like that for me.
Pumpkin. That sounds delicious. But Ejung and Ruben go to the porridge shop.
Yeah, yes.
And they like just don't say anything. They just go and eat. And then after they're done, they're like, oh yeah, by the way, June Pierre woke up. And so they take Jondi.
Yeah.
And then Ejung takes Gail somewhere. Like to some, what are those called that you heat up your pottery, hearth or something?
Kiln, something like that.
Well, he takes her, I guess, while he's.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I was kind of.
Because last episode he wanted to say something and she butted in.
Oh yeah,
remember that?
Yeah,
she butted in.
Left him on the steps like a stone cold player. I'm just saying.
Yes.
I still like that scene. I still like it.
I think he was shocked.
Yeah.
That she was a little. I don't want to say aggressive, but she kind of took charge in that conversation. And I think it kind of just shocked him a little bit.
Well, she didn't want to be. It's not like it's like because you told me about this, and I don't quite necessarily get it. But you don't want to be the one that gets dumped. You want to be the person that does the dumping.
That's why. That's why you butt in and be the first one to talk and say, I'm not gonna let you dump me. I get it.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Because you don't want to hear.
Well, she took it. It's like she already knew he was going to dump her, and so is that really like reversing the dump? I'm just saying. She was just like, you know what, my heart's still with you, but I know you don't feel the same way. I don't know if that's not.
No. It's just
that's dumping him.
I don't know, but I think it's easier for her to say that than to hear it from him. Because she's like, I'm good with
Yeah. Okay.
But
you seem to know a lot more about dumping people than I do. I'm just saying, somebody might want to pick that up.
I don't even know. It's hard to do that. I remembered like just ignoring phone calls.
Oh, well. Yeah.
I feel terrible about that now. Sometimes you're just like, it's easier if I just don't pick up the phone. They'll get it, right?
They'll get the message after.
You didn't, but I guess it worked out okay.
Okay. 24 years later.
Okay, so he says I'm ready now, or something. I don't know. She's ready now. Do you remember? He says I have something to say.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
So he tells her he's leaving to Sweden.
Yes.
Why is it always Sweden in the Korean dramas?
Yeah. Look, that's another one of those. Help us out with that one, because wasn't it Crash Landing on You? It was Sweden, and then something else.
Other ones are always like, I was gone to Sweden.
Hey, look, it's just a place to chill. Or Sweden.
It's nice.
I'm sure it's beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just say, but it's like, look, it was really hard when I was constructing my 3 sentences. I'm like, do I put something in about this whole thing with Ejung and Gail? But I was just like, I'm sorry, I'm just so underwhelmed. I'm just so underwhelmed with their relationship that I was just like, nah. There's nothing in there that there's nothing in that relationship that elevated itself to, yes, they took time up on the screen and everything, but there's nothing in it that was so important for me to even mention because everyone's going to forget about it. I forgot about, I'm not even kidding. I forgot. I forgot that there was, that they actually got together. I actually forgot
Me
that.
too.
So like when I was, watching this again, I'm like, did they even get together?
I couldn't remember
I
either.
didn't remember.
But they kind of didn't, but they came to a place where I think they're like, listen, we both have feelings for each other.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know, but I got to remember they just graduated. She's graduating, right?
They're young.
They're young.
They're young.
And normally you may go off to college. And so,
yeah,
it's okay to do stuff like that at that age, right? Like I'm going to be gone for, what does he say, 4 years? He might be going
4,
to
maybe
school.
5 years.
So he might be going off to school. It's weird. I have to like think back, like if you were to tell me, I'm going to be gone for 4 years or whatever. I'm like, no, you're not. No, you won't. No. But I'm like that.
Or you would say that it's like
Going
not
with
if you're going to stay with me. Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny because I talked about it a couple episodes back to All the Boys I Loved.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, love that. I love that show. So anyways, I just
all 3 versions.
Yes, and I just watched it.
Which one do you love the most out of the 3? Which one?
Well, definitely the first one.
Yeah.
So good.
Mm-hmm.
But the other 2 are just as good. So this last one, I know I mentioned that I was waiting for Alana.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why she wouldn't watch it with me. So finally, I got her to watch like the first half and then she fell asleep or something happened. Yeah. And I'm like, you know what? I am so tired of waiting for her. I finished it. And I'm like, I'm just not going to say nothing.
That's so bad. That's so bad on so many levels.
It's not bad. Okay. I was tired of waiting for her to watch it with me.
Mm.
And so I just had to finish it. But the third episode,
mm-hmm.
they go off to college.
Yeah.
And they had made these plans to go to the same college. They're going to be together.
Right.
Exciting. And then she doesn't get in. And so, but she gets into the college that's close by. So they're like, okay, we'll deal with that. You're close by, we'll see each other, and then you'll transfer after your first year.
Yeah.
Oh, better not tell you. Better not say. So good.
Well, I hope you didn't ruin the whole thing already. But
all I have to say is college, right? You go off to college,
yeah,
4 years, maybe longer.
That easily could have happened to us when
totally.
when I was transferring from Maricosta.
Well, he got into.
I got into UCLA.
But that's not far from us. LA is like an hour and 45 minutes. When there's no traffic.
Yeah.
That wasn't hard. What would have been? You just carpool or not carpool? You just.
I would have just came home on the weekends and stuff like that.
That's what I was gonna say. If he actually lived on campus.
UCSD. I wound up going to UCSD and I wound up just commuting.
Yeah, that's 30, 45 minutes. That's nothing.
Yeah.
But when you went up to LA, you could have even went farther, like Berkeley or something. Or oh no, you weren't admitted into Berkeley.
Oh, what? See, damn! Did y'all get the license plate on that bus? You just keep on hitting me with the bus. You just keep.
Okay. We're back. We had to edit something out. Okay, so
well, we know anyway.
All of that,
but no. So you threw me in the bus for not getting into Berkeley, because we were talking about how long distance relationships might work, and that was actually a real possibility for graduate school. I don't think we would have done it, but we were married already.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, I got into UC Santa Barbara. And that would have been too far to commute daily.
Yeah, if you could have moved up there, but I don't know. Anyways.
But he went to Sweden.
4 years, and then he says.
But they got cell phones. I mean, you can fly her out.
Oh man, he's wealthy.
I know. I'm just saying. It's like
so
he can come back in.
But basically, he said, I'm gonna go do my thing. You do yours, and when I come back, if you haven't found your soulmate.
I'm gonna look you up.
I'm gonna look you up. And that's it.
You should have been mad about that. Are you not mad about that? You're not like disgusted, player, like.
No, because I was thinking they're young. Like they're young and they gotta go off and whatever it is you do
Yeah.
to start your life. They have to do that. And I think at that age, you know that, right?
Yeah,
For the most
well, they're
part.
gonna come back.
the
He's
most
gonna
part.
be 22 years old. Well, yeah. So I think, yeah, and so I think he went off for 4 years, wound up just being 4 years.
I would not let you do that, but I think it's okay for most people.
You definitely wouldn't let me do that. But
I would be like, I'm going with you.
I've always said this, and well, at least I've always thought this, is to not. This may sound, I don't know how this is going to sound to folks, but it's like, I will not adjust my plans for a girlfriend, but I will adjust my plans for my wife.
And we were married when you had to make
Oh, yeah, for graduate school, we would have figured something out. But
okay.
when I was transferring, that may have been different.
So at June Pierre's house,
Mm-hmm.
John D arrives. And the Yumi, the hospital couple girl is there. And
I get it. Yeah.
I think that was hard. John D's face when she walked in and saw that she was there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And he's like,
and all snuggly bugly with her man. Yeah.
And
was not.
June Pierre's like, why are you so nosy? Why don't you go take care of your own boyfriend?
Mm-hmm.
Why are you here bothering me? And hospital girl asked John D to have tea, to stay and have tea.
Mm-hmm.
No, why didn't you just go home?
I know, right?
But you know what? I think I would stay too, because if it was you, I'd be like, get off my man. Like I think for that she probably wanted to be there, to be like, he's mine.
Yeah. Mm,
and wanted to make sure that.
I know, I hear you. Yeah, and then and then Johnny didn't take that very well, because she wound up just gulfing down a freaking brownie and then getting out of there, right? And so
it was uncomfortable.
It didn't go very well.
And Juniper tells her not to come back. He puts her in he said, you put me in a sour mood.
Every time I see, it's tough. I'm telling you, it's tough.
Yeah. And then
but this is at this moment I was kind of like thinking to myself, like, okay, so why is she spending so much time? Like, why is she just not telling them flat out? Right? I know. Like it was really hard for me to kind of think that one through. But I guess she just didn't want to cheat it. Right? Because she could have easily just said, it's like, I made the thing. We were dating. And
that's what I would do.
Or whatever. And it's like,
here's our picture. Don't they have any pictures that they took together?
I'm sure they have plenty of pictures. I mean, they got video of them at the freaking zoo and stuff like that. So I mean, not that they have that video or anything, but it's like they have so many memories, so many, all this stuff. It's like, yeah, you would have never, at any moment, you would have never have just went like, oh, well, I just want him to. No, you know what?
That's
no,
what
I actually do think that there's a part of you that would be like, I'm gonna be mad. I'm gonna go. He needs to remember me himself. How does he not remember me? It's like, I'm just saying. I don't know. But I think that's
might be like, take them. Okay. When John D leaves, the hospital girl comes out and tells her not to come back. Like, basically, you're putting him in a bad mood.
Yep.
And doesn't she even say
something about his healing? Like,
doesn't she even say, I'll help him remember you? Or
yes, she does. Yeah. Lying ass. And she wanted, it's like, but you know what? I mean, John D saw her true colors real quick, and and you know what? Props to Jihu. I mean, let's roll this one back to the last episode. He saw through her like glass, like just opportunistic. Yeah,
I love it. I love that part when he just walks right by her. Yeah. Like he just.
Yeah, and
and I like what you said last episode about he sees right through her.
Yes.
And he's used to it. I like that you said he's used to girls doing that.
Yeah.
And he's just like, I ain't got time for you.
Yeah. I ain't got time for you or your antics, especially when my homie John D over here is hurting. And so, it is what it is.
So speaking of Jihu, he shows up at
Yes.
Jupiter's house, and he tells
Fire
Johnny,
alarm must have been ringing.
he tells Johnny not to leave, and he takes
Mm.
Johnny back into the room
Yeah.
to see both of them asleep together.
All
Well, I mean,
snugly with
like
each
on
other.
the couch or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Johnny tells Jihu she has to accept it.
Yeah.
And so he tells her something. Don't be like the Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
And I know in other episodes, like you've talked about the Little Mermaid, and I think you
I don't
hear
think-
that quite a
yeah.
bit in Korean dramas.
Yeah. You don't hear it. You don't hear it.
They like that
We
story.
we haven't said anything about it in this
No.
episode, or
So
this
what do you
series.
think he
So
meant?
don't be like the don't be a loser. You're not
Because the Little Mermaid died. The original story.
Yeah. The original Little Mermaid is like, y'all, look, I'll tell you what, it flipped Alice and I out. Like when we really started thinking about it, it flipped me out for sure when in understanding that the Little Mermaid, the original, is a horrible, it's a horrible freaking story. It is a horrible story where all the same elements of the Disney Little Mermaid happen. It's just the Little Mermaid loses. In the real one, the prince marries the other woman, and the witch actually gives the Little Mermaid a deal and says, "Hey, look, you killed the prince. I mean, because he didn't choose you anyway, and so you kill him. I'll make sure you don't turn into sea foam. I'll cancel that part." And the Little Mermaid could not kill the prince, and so she turns into sea foam.
She turned into sea foam.
She turned into sea foam at the end. I'm like, that's a story for kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? But I think it's a very important rendition. I don't think the American version plays very well in Korea because
that's a very different story. We talk a lot about this. If this interests you, we talk a lot about it, and it's okay to not be okay.
Yes.
Because it's based.
Yeah, it's all the fairy tales.
All the fairy tales. And so we really get into some of the fairy tales and what they mean.
Yeah.
So watch that one.
No, for sure. For sure. Yeah. But yeah, so don't be the Little Mermaid. You're not losing. You're not losing this one. That's
yeah.
Don't give up. You're not gonna lose. Stay true to the end.
So he also says, I refuse to see you guys break up.
Yeah, and you know what? It's over this nonsense. This is nonsense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
And so this whole
he's probably so sick and tired of it. He's like, I want you. And if I'm
but I can't have y'all break up like this because then I can never have you. Like she will never get over him if they break up like this.
Yeah, and I think they're just not meant to be. There's some people that you're just friends. You just meant to be.
Oh, you mean Jihu? Okay.
Yeah, and Johnny, you're just
I agree.
Meant to be friends.
Yeah, you can crush on somebody your whole life, I guess.
Yeah. And so
like you crush on Mark Wahlberg.
But he's not a friend.
Yeah, true. But just saying.
So
you leave me for him. You know it. Notice how she didn't say anything. Just say.
I'm just trying to move on.
Mm-hmm.
So Yumi, that's her name, hospital girl.
Yeah.
Brings Junpei another lunchbox.
Yeah, which is garbage.
Yeah. He's kind of mad. Isn't he kind of mad?
Oh yeah. He's like, this isn't it. This isn't it.
Yeah, and she's like, no, they always taste different, or I don't know what she says.
Mm-hmm.
And he says something about John D, like that girl. Like I don't know what it is.
I can't get her out of my mind.
Yeah. And then Yumi, like she goes crazy.
This is it. She makes the big play right here. She makes the big play.
She's like, I've been at your side
this whole time.
And you're thinking about that girl?
That other girl who just gets on your nerves all the time. Why are you thinking about her?
Mm-hmm. She says the girl that pops up and irritates you.
Mm-hmm. That and your friends treat me like garbage.
Yeah.
I mean, she went in like she went in for the win on this one.
Mm-hmm.
She went for it for sure.
And it's true. I mean, the way they treated her.
Yeah, because she's an opportunistic.
You know what she says?
Gold digging.
You know what she says? She says, "Gee, who ignores me like a disease." That's what she said.
Well, that is appropriate. That's an appropriate way of saying it.
Yeah, because he did.
He sure did.
So okay, the next thing that comes up
Mhm.
is that Yumi, hospital girl, and June Pure are having a party.
Yes, they
They're
are.
having a pool party and they invite everybody.
Yeah, and she is whipping it up on that heart. Man, that's a
Yeah.
skill set.
At first I
ain't gonna
wasn't
lie.
sure that was her.
Whipping it up.
Yeah, but that was good. Um,
And then the big announcement.
so but remember she had a conversation with John D privately where she's saying like, we like each other.
Well, yeah.
Wait, wasn't there a part, did we miss it or was it last episode where June Pierre tells her like, are you the person I was supposed to remember?
Yes, it was right after. Dang, woman, you missed that. It was right after the lunchbox.
Yeah,
right after he had the lunchbox. He had all those floods of memories again, and he was like, "Are you the one that I'm supposed to remember?" And she said, "Yes," without hesitation. She said, "Yes."
She wants him.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I guess I wonder
if Mark Wahlberg thought that you was his long lost love, you'd be like, "Yep, yep, that's exactly that dude, that dude."
I'd be like, yes.
Just so we have that on record, folks. I'm just saying. I've said that. You shaking your head. Anyway. So that happened earlier, and so now we're back at the party. We are. She has that moment with John D at the pool. I can't remember if that moment came before or after the announcement that she was going to study abroad.
It came before. She talked to him before, and then Jihu comes by, and I think he's trying to give John D his jacket or something.
Yep.
And he's like, let's go listen to the announcement. So they go to the announcement.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And that's where they say that they're going to go to America to study together. I was like, that's a little soon. You don't even know the girl.
I know, right? But to June Pio's defense, he thinks that she's his long lost love.
You're right. He thinks, oh, I'm supposed to know this woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently.
And she's cute.
And apparently F4 is like keeping the clamps on this one too. I mean, I guess I'm just too direct. I would have like on day number one, I would have been like, dude, don't be a dumbass. That's your girlfriend.
I
That's what I would have did right out of the gate. And so, but I'm weird like that. And so I tell you what, if June Pio, let's say it was, Jihu that had his memory all messed up and he was in the hospital bed and June Pio was standing there, he would have said exactly that. He was like, dude, why are you being a dumbass? That's your girlfriend. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Right. And so, and then but then we wouldn't have had the whole episode and a half of drama that we had that made us all kind of hold our breath. Like, really? This is how this is going to go down?
I guess they were just thinking he doesn't remember her. Why push it? Just let's let him get his memory back.
Yeah. Well,
that's not so. Okay.
That's not how I keep on seeing. When amnesia patients in the movies that we've watched, they always say take them around familiar things.
Well, that's why they did. Well, he was in the hospital, but that's why they did John D with the ice cream cone
and the kick
to
the face.
And she threw the towel in his face.
Yeah,
I love that.
I still love it. Yes,
I love that, and it didn't work. And so the next scene, John D is like by the pool by herself, and June Pierre happens to come by.
Yep, so happens.
And she gives him the necklace.
Gives him the necklace.
And he's like, well, why give it? Just get rid of it. Why are you giving it to me? Yeah. Remember that? And then she says, this was interesting because she tells June Pierre, one question. She's like, I have one question. And she's like, can you swim? Yeah. And he's like, no, because of something that happened.
Yeah, so he was traumatized as a child or something like that. Yep.
And then she starts going like listing a few things about him. Like, you'd rather bust your ribs than have me have one finger
of your
girlfriend hurt.
Yep.
You hate bugs.
Yep.
So she starts listening to these things, and I mean, what would you think? Like, you'd be like, okay, why is my best friend's girlfriend know all this stuff about me?
Yeah.
Like, you know what he's thinking? He's like, snap, my best friend's girlfriend has something for me. He's probably like,
you know, that's right.
bad.
Of course.
Bad.
Yeah. It's like, how you going to cheat on? Well, I mean, he's actually said, like, implied that in a few situations already. So
yeah, he's probably thinking this kid, this is gonna amount to no good. Nothing good's gonna come out of.
Nothing good can happen.
Can you imagine?
Yes, I could actually imagine
that like one of my best friends, where you're thinking like, oh my God, that's Allison's.
Don't know me, no one knows me like you do. There's no one that he could even come close to saying like stuff that you would.
Well, I'm saying if you had amnesia and you're thinking, if people start,
oh yeah.
You're thinking like, well, I guess I would be saying it to you, and you would be thinking that's my best friend's girlfriend. Like, you'd be disgusted. Wouldn't you be kind of disgusted?
That's Dean's girlfriend. Shout out to the homie Dean. He's our
old college friend.
He's a college
we
friend.
Talked to him on another episode.
Yeah, we did.
It's okay to not be okay.
I think it was
we went to college together.
But
and he always acts like he still has a thing for me. So he always tells Alice, you made the wrong choice.
Yeah, now that he has him a wife, we're good. We can hang out again.
It's for fun. But she said you're the idiot that doesn't know privacy versus pride. Remember that scene at when they got their own apartment? About, remember the train swallowed the heart. There was this, how we always got those, what are those called? When, all those little, anyways, but he never got anything right. You remember the whole series?
Yeah, all the series, yeah.
He would always mess things up.
Yeah.
The 38th strategy.
Yes.
Is running away. Yeah. All the things he messed up. Like, I think it was
all the common sayings that they said. Yeah.
I think it was like a flashback. It was cute to go back and think about all the things we went through. This episode, I mean, it took a long time since, how many months have we been watching it so to hear her talk about all the things that, from the earlier episodes, I kind of liked it and I missed it.
Yeah.
Remembering it was good. You freak out with kids, but a devoted father who wants to watch the stars with his kids.
Yeah, I bet. No, that one.
She's like, that's who you are.
That one should have shook him down to the core, right? It's like that one kind of got to him because he was like, how? No one knows that. No one. I've never told. And remember, he even said that. It's like, I've never told anyone this, right? And so that one should have shook him down to his core, right?
So for what she has to do next, or what she does next, I'm not quite sure if I get it, but she goes to the pool and falls in.
Yeah, well, she dropped the necklace into the pool first.
Yeah, and then she falls into the pool. I'm not sure why.
Wow.
I mean, she really was just gonna die if he didn't save her? Or was she trying to make a point? She's trying to jog his memory again, right? She's trying to get him to remember.
Remember what, though?
I don't know, that he can swim.
Are you kidding me? Are you really? We're really doing this? Look, okay. We're really about to do this. No, and it's not bad. It's just, I cannot believe that you do not know the line that she is that she is tagging in on by falling into the pool. Finish. This is your favorite line.
Oh, she's hoping that he'll remember that he said that.
That he said what?
It is my favorite line when he learned to swim, because he said, I'd rather die than to let any other man save you. I think that's what he said.
That's what
So she's like, you better save me,
because I'm about to die.
I guess. It was weird.
Of course, it's weird. Remember, manga. You always got to remember that. That's our mantra for all of this stuff. So she falls in. I thought the touch of her finding the necklace under there, that was
You did? You thought that?
Loved it.
Really?
Absolutely loved it. Loved it.
Okay,
Loved it. Don't say nothing bad about
I will.
it. Loved it. Loved it. Should I do it with this hand? Anyway.
So Juniper remembers. He has his flashbacks.
Yep, you gotta work it around.
And
but
he
he finally remembers.
He remembers that did it.
That did
Well,
it.
everything she told him, I think. All the list of things that she told him. And
Yes.
the necklace. And then she drops in the pool.
Mm-hmm.
And so he has all those flashbacks.
Indeed.
And he remembers and he pulls her out.
He does.
And
he says her name.
And he says, if you scare me like that again, you're dead. That's the June Pierre we love.
And she was like, say my name again. Oof.
And Umi walks away.
Yeah. Freaking. Don't nobody feel bad for her. Don't nobody feel bad for her. Ain't nobody giving her another thought. I have more thoughts. I have more empathy and feelings for Jae Kyung, for the fiance, than I do for this person. This little mooch. Just saying.
Okay.
I'm not trying to say anything bad about women. I'm just saying this was bad, and we all know it. We all know it.
I don't know if it was so bad. She had an opportunity. She found an opportunity. Mm-hmm. He's a good-looking man.
Bad.
And apparently he doesn't remember this girl, and he might not.
Yeah, but she told like.
Oh, she did tell some lies. You're right. That was bad. That was bad.
Yeah. Anyway, so we good.
So graduation.
Okay,
you know what? Remember last episode, we played a song from Greece?
Yes.
And Bruce and I were listening.
We had a good time in the last episode. Y'all didn't watch the previous episode. Y'all need to check that out. We had a good time.
So we played a song from Greece, Hopelessly Devoted.
Hopelessly Devoted.
And afterwards, Bruce and I were kind of talking about it.
Did I ever tell you that when I was young, I used to think that Hopelessly Devoted, that they said hopeless lady moated, like something like it was anyway.
Yeah. I remember.
I don't know if y'all remember. I don't know if anybody's old enough or local enough to remember when we used to say, oh, moated? You got moated. I don't even know what that means. I just know that that's what we used to say. It's like moated. Oh, you got moated.
That means you got
like disrespected.
Yeah.
You got someone put you down. Someone put you in your place. You got moated.
Yeah.
Hopeless lady moated.
Anyway. You're like, you're a hopeless lady moated. Just like the song.
But anyway.
Okay. So
we're back at Hopelessly Devoted.
but we were talking about the movie Grease. If you've never watched it, shame. For shame.
Yeah, there's something wrong with you.
You need to go back and you need to watch it. With John Travolta, Olivia Newton-John. But we were
the OG original. Yeah,
we
absolutely.
were thinking that it's parallel. Like you could draw a parallel line between Grease and Boys Over Flowers. We were talking about that.
Oh,
remember?
Yeah.
Because you
honestly, I started thinking, it's like, did Boys Over Flowers do that? But no, we did that. We did that work.
We talked about it because you were saying that you talk about it in class, and some of your students didn't like that she had to,
come over to John Travolta's world.
Yeah. But they didn't like that part. But we were talking about
and the other, I think they have more issue with the other blatantly sexist things that happened in the movie. But
okay. Well,
but that was also, that was just like the cherry on top, if you will.
But we were talking about but John Travolta's character, he did try to go over to her side. She was kind of the very conservative, type. And he was
devoted to school. She was a cheerleader. She was devoted to school. She was involved in extracurricular activities, and
then he was like the biker guy, back then, the greasers, whatever they call it, gang type of, as back then,
gangster. Yeah, that's
kind of gangster. Seems like a harder word,
but that's exactly what they were. They were a gang.
Yeah.
Just because they could sing and dance doesn't mean that they were any less of a gang.
But he tried to come over to her side, like June Pierre. Remember, we were saying, well, remember June Pierre, he tried to change for John D. He changed his hair. Remember in the beginning,
He sure
she's like, your
did.
hair's gross, everything about you. You don't wear the school uniform.
Yeah, well, she just read him like that in the bathroom after she got the bloody nose.
Yeah, it's like the second episode. And then he comes to school and he's in a uniform.
Mm-hmm.
He changed his hair.
Changed his hair, is in the uniform. I think it's a little bit later in the episodes, but yeah.
So he did, I mean, and then he goes over to her house. He hangs out with the father.
Goes on a double date.
Yeah.
Right?
So he really did.
He
and
tried.
It was similar to, we thought, Grease.
Yeah.
Because John Travolta did the same thing.
He did do the same thing. I don't think people remember that very well in the movie. But yeah,
but he did.
He tried to put as because I even had to point out. Yeah, I even pointed that out because he started going to. He tried the football practice. He tried to go to the gym, to the gym and work out with the jocks. That all of that stuff didn't work. He took offense, and then in the very ending scene, he had a Letterman job. He had a Letterman
which is
sweater
completely opposite.
Which is not who he is.
Yeah.
Right? And so he was trying. He really was trying because he wanted to be in Sandy's world. But Sandy did a better job of crossing over to his.
Well, at the end.
At least in that one scene.
She never did.
Yeah. She won't be that person. She won't be that person forever.
No.
But for that scene,
it was so good.
It was good.
That scene. So watch it if you haven't seen it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you haven't seen it, you should be embarrassed.
That's our that's our version of Boys Over Flowers.
Yeah. And we can get into conversations about sexism and all of this stuff, but it really, honestly, it's like what they were trying to do for each other was to show how young people fall in love and what young people in love are trying to do, right? Given the cultural space that they're in.
Wouldn't it be so cool if Boys Over Flowers was a musical?
Yo.
I got an idea there.
Hey.
Oh, there's some K-pop in there?
Well,
oh, snap.
You can wreck shop. Have Blackpink be like the Mean Girls. No, I don't want that. I don't want that.
BTS could be BTS could be the F4.
There could be some F4 members from BTS. It's like, yeah, you could do that. You could do that work. That would be a. I wouldn't want to see a drama on that. I would want to see a movie. Let's try for the movie version of that.
A movie? Why not a musical? Single watch.
A musical? You really want to see 16 episodes of that musical?
No, of course not. You want to go to the theater and watch.
No, I'm saying it would. You're talking about a play.
A play, yes.
Okay.
Would that be so good? And the dances? Snap. We need to write up the screenplay and send it in. You got time?
All the time that I got, Alice got me.
I
kid you not. I'm on, my sabbatical, and Alice got me doing more work than I.
No. He just agreed to coach girls football. I mean, girls.
Yep, girls football. That's exactly what.
Girls high school basketball. He's taking Alana tomorrow, 5 o'clock in the morning. 5, 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. Nothing good happens at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Good coffee's made at 5 o'clock in the morning.
True that.
Okay. Where are we? Oh, graduation.
So we're back. We went all that business just to come back to graduation.
Well, because of Grease, they do the graduation too.
They did.
See, you got to watch Grease. If you like this, you got to watch. Everybody's watched Grease, right? Everybody.
I don't know.
Who hasn't? Who wouldn't have watched it? We made our kids watch it. You're like, you have to. You have to watch it.
Okay. I think all of our listeners have watched it. And if you haven't, don't let us know because you should be ashamed. We will clown you. We will talk about you. But go ahead. Graduation. Graduation, their dance, yes.
No. Remember, and June Pierre and John D are together. He tells her, he's like, because she's going to go to medical school. And he's like, you're going to cut people without a scalpel. You don't even need a scalpel. Your words are so harsh. But so
Indeed.
I don't remember like the exact scene. Did he get out of the car? Are they out of the car and he whispers something and a motorcycle goes by? And again, for the second time,
yep.
She doesn't hear. And he just says, like, don't be late.
Yep.
You're dead.
Yep.
And she's like, oh. I didn't hear anything you just said.
It was funny. It was very cute to bring that back.
I know. I love that.
That was a great little scene to
We
bring
never
back.
knew what he said the first time.
Never knew it. Well, I mean, meet me at the clock tower, whatever that was.
Oh, yeah. So Johnny's working at the clinic and a limo arrives for her. Because I think she probably would have never went to the ceremonies.
She was not on track. She was taking out the garbage. She was about to go back into the clinic and get the dude some tea. Get grandfather some tea. So yeah, she was not on track.
Because the F4, they're waiting for her. And they're all waiting to dance.
I wonder who sent the limo though.
They probably all talked about it.
Yeah.
They're just like, let's do this for her because she probably won't show up. And we need to. They're so good. They're good people. They were good. Like, they're like, you know what? We need to do this for John D. She needs to be here. It's her graduation. And we're going to pick her up. And we're all going to be here waiting to dance with her.
That was beautiful.
And so
it was a great moment.
I like it because when she gets there, she talks about each one.
Yeah.
And she says, I have it written down. Woo Bin, he's the backbone.
Mm-hmm.
Ijung, warm. He's warm, pure.
Mm-hmm.
And Jihu, someone sent to me from heaven. He's my soulmate.
Yeah, that was a really strong. I wouldn't have translated it like that, even if that's exactly what they meant. But
he's my savior, maybe. But even that's a little strong.
Because I would have went back to the firefighter analogy.
Yeah, he's my
firefighter or something like that. But yeah, soulmate.
That's a little strong.
That's really strong.
Yeah, that's kind of strange. And so she gets to do her dances with them, and June Pierre doesn't show up, and they're like, "Where's June Pierre?"
Yeah.
And so then she kind of remembers that, oh snap, he told me to be somewhere and not to be late.
Yeah.
And so she runs after him. I don't know if this is the same place. This was the same place.
It was the same place.
When she gets there, they kind of do a little flashback of him waiting in the cold.
Yes.
And oh my gosh. And so then he shows up and he's all dressed up.
He's all dressed up.
Oh, he looks so good. Didn't he look good?
He looked good. He looked good.
And he has a light show.
He has a light show on the floor, everything.
He says something about grassland management. I do not know what that means.
Yeah, I have no idea. I still, yeah.
And then he gives her a $30 coffee.
Yeah.
And he takes her back to the, what do you call that? What do you call the little
Sky tram or something like that?
Sky tram. And he rented the whole cable.
He rented the whole
so
thing.
They can go back. I love that. You never do anything like that for me.
Yeah, you're right.
Take me back somewhere.
Because we on a budget. Where would I take you back to?
I don't know. I'm trying to think. He took her back to the Sky tram.
There is no place that we have ever, when we were dating.
You took me out to eat for the first time at an all-you-can-eat Chinese restaurant. But it's gone.
It's gone.
It's not there. Not because of COVID.
No.
It is gone a long time ago. That's what I kind of remember. You can make me those hamburgers. Bruce made me hamburgers. Like
I made you the hamburgers again already.
I guess you do make hamburgers all the time. No, you make these like homemade. Anyway. These are like homemade. Like you made them homemade. No, you would have to like send the kids out.
Oh.
And then make these homemade hamburgers with big old chunks of onion you put in them. I like onion, but there were big chunks of onion.
So I should have diced them up a little bit more.
I don't know. They were fine actually. It was just you
see that bus?
We could watch a movie and you fall asleep.
What's the color of the bus?
We could watch a movie and you fall asleep.
I didn't fall asleep that night.
I don't know if we watched a movie, but we watched a movie before and he was asleep. Your brother came home and was like, why are you sleeping?
Yeah, no, I was, It was right after work.
Whatever.
Anyway, where we at?
Remember how he rode in the cable car?
Yes.
Like June Pierre, Hart, John D or something.
Yeah.
And she was covering it up. She was embarrassed. And she's like, are you going to make it so that I can never get married? Because of what he wrote, everybody will see it. And he's like, you just have to marry me then.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Love that.
Very cute. Very cute.
And then I think it said our first night together. It said our first night together. That's why. That's why she was like, who's
Yeah.
gonna want to marry me after that? And he says, let's get married.
Yes, he did.
But then he also says, I have to go to the US for 4 years too.
Yep.
And he wants her to go with him. I would have went. Why would she not go? She can't go to school over there. I would not let him out of my sight.
Well, she has her own hopes and dreams, you know. She wants
She
to be a
made,
doctor.
she said,
She wants to do it without him.
I made the decision to be the best of something.
Yep.
And so it works out. It's fine. Like I said, they're young. I don't know. I would have went with him. He has plenty of money. She could have went to school, come to the US and go to school.
That is true.
But again,
I think you know
And
they're still. I think that I really do think that there's something to be said about Korean culture and waiting.
yeah.
Like,
Well, we don't wait very well.
Yeah, in the United States, we do not wait. That is
We
not.
want things.
That is not our thing. That is not how this is not the ending that would happen with an American movie. That is just not. Well, this is not how this was going.
But it's so good. I do love patience because it's a way for them to grow. And then if you do come back, if it's even stronger.
Yeah.
Right. If it wasn't meant to be, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not meant to be.
Exactly. And
sometimes you have to do that. So I get it.
They're pressing the idea of soulmates, right? And so,
they'll be everything they've been through.
Exactly.
Yeah. And he's not, they make it sound like he's really going to be gone for 4 years, like she's not going to see him. But in reality, I mean, you come back for holidays and things like that, right?
I'm sure he came back like once a month or so.
Well, she said, I'll think about it again when you come back. And if you turn out to be a great man.
Yep.
And he's okay with that. He smiles. He's like, okay.
There you go. Yeah.
I like,
because the whole thing was that she was pressing him to say, basically, you ain't nobody. The only reason why you somebody is because you got lucky and got born into this family, but you haven't done nothing to be that egotistical. Therefore, do something, become great.
Yeah.
Do something with what you got.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And so,
I was thinking like Greece, they ended at graduation together.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then in here, it looks like, well, they go their separate ways.
Right.
They all go their separate ways, but obviously at the end they do come together. So, so you see them like the years are passing. June appears on magazines and he's doing really well. He's done an interview on television.
Yes, he is. That's after 4 years.
And then they ask him, like, do you have a girlfriend? Or, how do you do this? And he says, it's a promise I made to somebody. And that's how I was able to endure.
Yep. He was lonely, but he made a promise.
Yeah. And you see the sister, she's working.
Yeah.
She's happy.
She's putting in that work.
And you see Lee Jung return, right? This is like this is like 4 years coming up. This 4 years is coming up now.
Right.
And Lee Jung comes back and he goes to Yale and she's a teacher. And he's there.
Oh, probably preschool teacher or something.
Something. And the little kids are like, are you boyfriend or were you in Sweden?
Were you in Sweden? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh, you're her boyfriend that she was waiting to come back. Yeah. That was so, oh my God, that was so cute. That was so adorable.
It's so hard because I think the shows that we're used to watching, we would expect a little more. Like we want to see more.
Yeah.
We want to see them get married or something. But it was so sweet. It was that's it. That's all they gave us, and I love that. I love it. It was different.
Yeah.
And
it was enough.
It was enough. It should be enough. We always have to. The shows here, they don't ever leave anything for you to think about, for you to imagine.
Yeah.
They just, that's how we are here. We want instant gratification. We don't want to wait. We want what we want.
Yeah.
And it's kind of nice.
Yeah.
Not,
absolutely.
It's nice not having that. I love it. I love it because it leaves you a little wanting. You're not completely full. And that is refreshing.
Yeah, I think that that's really the art of romance, right? It's like you have to connect dots in your own head, rather than let everybody finish it for you.
I wish that some of the shows here that they make would do that, because there's some really good shows, but they drag it on and drag it on. And I give up. But there's a lot of American shows that I start watching that are really good. And then it's just like, I can tell it gets to a point where I'm like,
Normally about the third season we get bored.
they just drag it on and it's like, stop already. Like let us keep us wanting more.
Yeah,
That's what I love. When I want more, that's when you shut it off.
right.
Right? That's what
Right.
makes it so good. And then you see John D and Jihu on the bus, and they're going to medical school.
Yep.
I don't know if Jihu's almost done, but she's like, they said like they make fun of John D.
Yeah.
That she's like
Third year repeat.
that she had to repeat.
Third year repeater.
That's okay. That's okay. She's gonna do it.
She's gonna get it done.
Yeah.
She got to try.
And I think who tells her not a day goes by you don't cause trouble? Another student tells her that.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like at a site or something where they're giving shots or little kids inoculations maybe.
Must have been some exam that some.
But
field exam that they were
looks like Jihu's moving on, right?
Yeah.
Well, he's a year ahead of her. He's like a year or two ahead of her, anyways.
Well, she made a comment that he started on time and was ending on time, and so it seemed like she started before him and then got held back, and then he started, and then now they're.
You're right, because you know what? When she was still in high school, he wasn't going to medical school.
He was definitely not going.
So they may have started at the same time.
I think she started the year earlier and then got held back, and then Jihu started.
Yeah.
Because we don't know anything about the grandfather. We don't know what really happened to the grandfather, but I assume that he passed away.
Oh, I didn't think that. I was thinking he's still.
Because they said the phrase that they used was reopen the clinic.
Oh.
And so it's either the grandfather passed away or he was too sick or something like that. Yeah.
And so
Dr. Prince.
This is the helicopter.
I think that the little girl calling Jihu Dr. Prince is worth not only mentioning, but to have a little moment of like, oh,
he looked good in that white coat.
He did. And
I wouldn't mind going to the doctor and having him as my doctor.
Really? I'll see this. Mm-hmm. She come home every day to a doctor, and she need to have a doctor look like him.
I want a medical doctor.
Oh yeah. Okay.
That makes sure I'm okay, healthy. Check my pulse. Check my heartbeat every night.
Because having a PhD in sociology is.
Yes, love, you're good.
Worthless.
I didn't say that.
It is worthless.
No, I didn't say that.
I'm not a medical doctor.
So
cannot make sure that you're healthy.
There's a helicopter above them.
I just got a job with health insurance.
There's a helicopter. The helicopter arrives.
And he says, I'm
sorry, you're still talking?
Oh, I'm sorry. Go. He
says, hey, commoner, can you hear me?
Yeah,
how can you just call somebody a commoner?
That's funny.
It's so funny. He's like, can you hear me?
Yeah.
And so I guess they land right at the beach, and she arrives. She comes, she meets him there, and he's like, took you 5 minutes. I don't know. Do you think people feel the same way? I just love how he's a little bit selfish. And I think I've said it in a past episode when he was at the zoo and he's trying to stand next to her, and he moves a little boy.
Yeah.
So he could be next to her.
Yeah.
I love that. I think sometimes that's what I love about being in love, is that sometimes you're a little bit selfish. And I think that's so cute.
Yeah.
I think it's cute that love sometimes can make you a little selfish, and sometimes you do things that you wouldn't normally do because you just want to be with that person. And that's the part about when you're in love that I like when you just, you're not right. And you do things that normally you wouldn't do. And I love that. And I love that he's so anxious and he's a little bit selfish. That's what I love about June Pure.
Mm.
And I know because he is that way, there's that also, he was acted a little bit like a child.
Mhm.
He acted a little immature, but that goes with his personality, right? Because Jihu wouldn't have
Yeah,
done stuff
fits.
like that.
Yeah.
Right? Because he's not necessarily immature. So when he was in love, I mean, he didn't do silly things.
Right.
He's like, here's the ring. Let's get married.
Yeah, that's pretty much how that went. And so I was thinking of a couple of things. Well, to say, like, you know what, Johnny ain't about to run up to him in that daggone helicopter. Why would she? Right? It's like her character is
She's
definitely
never
like,
been.
I've never been impressed with that anyway. Why am I gonna go running off to the helicopter? So it's like, here you are. And so it's like, again, it's like the immaturity of Junpyo, right? It's like of just thinking that he could just go out there and flex like that,
I
and then
know.
get Johnny to just run to him.
Yeah.
It's like, bruh, you still have the wrong read on your girlfriend. Like, for real. It's like, you still got the wrong read on this. It's like,
that's him.
don't
That's what he
flex.
wants. And it works. It works.
She
because
doesn't
they're
like
different.
she doesn't like that kind of flex.
Yeah.
Right? She likes the simple, sincere stuff.
But that's where the opposites attract.
No, I get it. Yeah, right.
That's what makes it so cool.
Yeah.
Well, like with us, I'm so needy, and Bruce is so like not, and he's not jealous person at all. And so I'm like, that man just looked at me. Don't you care? He's like, no. What? Huh? Am I gonna eat?
You gonna go run off with him? Nope. Then why am I gonna worry about that?
I know. So it's just, yeah.
That's how fights happen. And I don't want to get in no fight. I'm 50. I don't need to get in no fights anymore.
It don't matter that you're 50, even when you were 20.
That is true.
Take her.
I don't need any fights.
If she can leave me that easy, take her. She was never mine.
Hey, there's that. And the other thing though that I do think of is, here's these these third-year doctors or whatever, trash talking John D. And she has a boyfriend that comes in a private helicopter. To say, like, I wonder if something adjusted.
Oh, I'm sure.
And their thoughts and their grading.
Remember,
maybe she got through the exam this time.
Well, remember when he took her out to dinner and those guys, they were kind of making fun of her. And then
they were kind of, but yeah, they went all in on the doggy bags.
Yeah, yes. Yeah. But then he walks in.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh,
change their tone real quick.
Remember they said something like that?
Yeah.
So, oh my God. So this is so June Pure. And this was so, I don't know, maybe I'm wondering if there's some people that don't understand the banter that they have.
Mm-hmm.
That's so rude. But it's their way. It's how they show that they do love each other, because he says, I see you wearing a white coat. I guess ugly ducklings can become swans. Like, that's you have to talk to Johnny that way.
Oh yeah.
Because she's not a mushy, like we talked about, she's not a mushy person, and that's what she knows.
Absolutely.
You don't some people, that's their terms of endearment is to say stuff like that, because you can't be too soft.
Mm-hmm.
No,
absolutely.
That's your way. Wasn't your mom like that? I can't remember you. Did she do
no,
stuff
my
like
mom
that,
didn't know enough English to really kind of.
Oh, not English, but even however she communicated with you. I kind of remember something.
Maybe. I mean, she was. My mother was definitely rough around the edges. That is for sure. And so, and it's like, if people listen to our banter between each other, I mean, that and this show, like with the shows that we do, and everything with the podcast and everything, it's like people could easily go like, "Ooh, did they really talk to each other like that?" And it's like, and here you are laughing, right? It's like, I'm laughing. I'm like, man, get the number on that bus, or whatever, or.
Some people talk nicely to each other.
Some people talk nicely to each other all the time. There's a married couple. I kid you not. It's like there's a married couple on a radio station that they're whatever DJs or whatever, and I think to myself, yo, I wonder how because they're on every day.
Are they nice? Or not nice?
They're nice to each other, and I just keep on thinking to myself like, yo, what if they get into a fight? what happens to the show if they get into a fight with each other? Like, like for real, it's like, this is a real thing that's going on in my head. And so, Alice and I, we have our moments. I'm just glad those moments weren't videotaped, because she can't hide it with her face. When she really, it's like I can hide all those moments in the podcast, but I can't hide them on video. And so, just saying, it's like we had some moments on the podcast. But
I remember one time you said something to me and somebody heard, and I was wondering if he was going to think like, oh my God, he talks to her that way.
yeah,
but well, because
they should have been more concerned about how you talk to me. But
well, you had Bruce
all these tire marks on my back from being thrown under the bus.
Yeah. Anyway, but he didn't say anything bad. It was just kind of his tone. We were at a basketball game, and you were, he's a coach, so he's focus. Like, I mean, they're 10-year-olds playing. He's just like
12.
You came up to get something from me. I had something.
Yeah.
And I was asking you a question, and you're like, don't talk to me right now. Don't talk to me like right now. That's what you said. Like that.
Yeah.
And the guy looked at me, and I just like smiled, like, whatever. That's Bruce, because he can't focus on more than one thing at a time.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh my God, does he think like?
Yeah, I was on a mission also. Like, there was something very specific that I needed, and I needed it immediately. And I know that every time you start talking to me, it's going to become a conversation.
Yeah.
And I could not afford a conversation at that moment.
Yeah.
So
it was a little bit rude, but I mean, I get it. Anyways, so he gets on his knees.
He gets on his knees.
And this is the time. Oh my God, I've been waiting for this.
And she doesn't answer.
Doesn't she kiss him?
No. They kissed. I think they kissed.
I thought she kisses him. Oh no, that was at the end. Anyways, I usually close my eyes when I kiss. I can't watch.
She did not confirm.
Yes, she did.
No, she did not. She did not say, yes, I will marry you. She didn't say yes.
Well, the F4 show up and they object.
Yeah, that was funny.
That was cute. It was just cute. And that was it. That was the end.
That was the end.
What are your overall thoughts of this drama? Because there are people out there that did not like it.
Oh yeah.
Some people that couldn't even finish it after the first episode.
Oh yeah.
And I, after the first episode I watched it, I stopped because I was like, I don't know, it's a little silly. I just couldn't get into it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I continue to watch it, and I've seen it like 4 times. You're never gonna forget June Pierre. I mean, even Ho should just change his name. He will forever be June Pierre.
Well, yeah, he keeps playing the same character. I mean, that's the type of character he plays too. He's just not always jerky, as jerky as this, but yeah.
No, not necessarily. So what do you think overall?
This is still one of my top.
One of your tops.
Yeah.
Not your top? Or they all kind of blend? They all blend?
My top 5 really are almost interchangeable. Like, it's like there's this one, there's Coffee Prince, there's Faith, but a lot of them, or I should, you know what? This is still, is it my favorite? Is this my favorite Eamon Ho drama? And I think the answer is yes. I think Faith comes in a really close, like depending on the day, but I haven't watched Faith twice. And so we'll see what happens.
Was this only your second time watching?
This is my second time.
And we watched it maybe 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm. It's
something
been a while.
like that.
Like I said, I watched it almost brand new.
Okay, so this is one of your top favorites. What was it like just in a sentence or two? What is it about this drama that?
This is one of those things where I think remembering the time that we had watched it together, spending time with each other, finding something that we can both be passionate about. I think that meant a lot to me, and that this still reminds me, here we are, 7 years later, still doing this with a podcast now trying to do videos and everything, and how just this, almost this silly thing of Boys Over Flowers. This I think was the 3rd one that I watched. And of Eamon Ho, because we started with Faith, and then we watched City Hunter, and then we watched this one.
Did you watch Personal Taste with me?
We did watch Personal Taste
Okay.
together.
I think I've seen that
And
twice.
so that was, yeah, we did that after this, after this one. So, but anyway, but so, learning about Korean culture, all of the, just this one
It was a
is,
good time.
and this one, I'm going to tell you, for this one for me was my decision making, like, because even though, or like the whole K-drama thing, the first one, Faith, it was a fantasy adventure. And so that's right in my wheelhouse. I like the mystical, magical Dungeons and Dragons type of stuff, right? City Hunter was a lot more action oriented. And so I was cool with that. But this one, the third one, I was like, yo, you know what? I really got to see if this is something I'm interested in, or like how much I really like this. Let's watch Boys Over Flowers, because if I like that, then that just means I'm all in.
Yeah.
Right. And so this one was, I remember all those things while remembering this.
Yeah. I don't know why. I think a lot of it for me is the same reason. It was, and I've talked about it in past episodes. It was just a time in my life where things changed. My kids were getting a little older, so I had a little more free time. I was learning about a culture I knew nothing about. And I love foreign films anyways. I love reading and watching foreign films. So it wasn't, anything that was too far-fetched for me.
Right.
And I love, like I said a little earlier, they don't give you everything.
Right. Yeah.
Like we're used to the shows here. And I find that so refreshing.
Yeah.
I love waiting. I love not getting things right away. I love waiting for presents, like I could wait. I like waiting.
Yeah.
The only thing I can't wait for is ice cream. When we go get ice cream, I will eat it in the car before we get home.
That is true.
And Bruce lets his ice cream sit there and he's like, nope, I'm going to wait until we get home and watch a movie. And I'm going to eat it while we watch a movie. And I'm like, I can't wait. I'm eating it now. Yeah. But everything else, I like to wait. I like to teach my kids to wait.
Yeah.
And so, and that's why I like the show. Everything about this.
Yeah.
And Jim Beer, I just loved him.
Yeah, well, like I said, it for the ones that I like the most, it's that for the Enneagram folks out there who remember any of this, it's that whole 8-3 dynamic.
Yeah.
And so for him, him and John D have that 8-3 dynamic. In Faith, it was an 8-3 thing. So because it reminds me of us.
Yeah.
Whenever I see that 8-3 combination, it's a movie that normally reminds me of us. So,
well, I hope you guys like this video. I hope we can make more, and maybe we'll get the light thing better in our next video. This was Talk K-Dramas with Bruce and Dallas.
Like you needed to point to who was
just
Bruce
in case. Just in case.
You are right.
Just in case he didn't know.
You are right, Alice. Bruce.
Thank you.
Alice.
No, you got that wrong. You said
I know what I did. All right, bye.
Bye. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.